We are each our own brand now, applied to everyone from influencers, politicians and professionals to you and I. Self-branding is ubiquitous. But what does it actually mean? Self-branding was invented by management scholars in the late 1990s to address a labour market that could no longer promise full-time stable employment for white-collar workers. The capacity of computing to replace routine tasks put many mid-level jobs at risk of being automated away, making white-collar workers an increasingly precarious segment of the labour market. Self-branding seeks to turn this uncertainty into an opportunity, as the self-brand guru Tom Peters demonstrates in an article for Fast Company. You don't belong to any company for life, and your chief affiliation isn't to any particular function. You're not defined by your job title, and you're not confined by your job description. Starting today, you are a brand. The point is, you can no longer rely on a job for life. You can expect a life free from the confines of job description and function, but with the caveat that you and you alone are responsible for finding employment. Rather than representing entrepreneurship and independence, self-branding really means more work for the worker without much reward. Now, on top of your actual job, you need to spend time crafting a unique and coherent selling point to hold your flexible working life together. Like, say, Barclays or McDonald's, your brand is supposed to make a consistent promise. A Big Mac always tastes the same, so the consumer knows what to expect each time they buy one. The promise made by your personal brand is supposed to create similar expectations in the mind of a potential employer or client. So what does this actually mean for the worker? Much like a big company, there is no moment when you're not your brand. Or, to put it another way, you're always at work. In a recent report for Autonomy, I found that self-brand literature asks us to turn our leisure time into labour time, to spend the hours once occupied by family, friends and fun, cultivating a version of ourselves fit for market. Instead of stable set hours, you can expect your leisure time to be occupied by cultivating a social media presence, maintaining a personal website and weekly blog, answering emails at all hours, and networking at social events such as conferences, dinners and parties. Self-branding creates a culture in which overwork is the norm, a phenomenon that a number of recent studies have connected to poor mental health. It should come as no surprise that burnout is now regarded as a standard feature of millennial life. Yet if self-branding is work to find employment, and stable, decent employment is increasingly scarce, what is all this work for? We're working ever more to get ever less. Is this really the way we want to live?